Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Mullins Over Music Podcast. Episode 20. Man, it's crazy. It's been a wild ride. But this week's episode is Jessie Krom of Jess Tells Stories and Skewer Rat. We go over her new EP, Stories by Firelight. We talk about the writing process. We talk about cats. You know it. You love it. Go ahead and enjoy the episode. Welcome, everybody, to the Mullins Over Music Podcast. I'm your host. At least last time I checked. If in the future it's not, it's because the robot overlords took over. But here I am with Jessie of Skewer Rat and Jessie Tells Stories. Thanks for coming on.
And of the robot overlords.
And of the robot overlords, yeah. Remember, we're
Mm-hmm.
we're bowing down to you, robot overlords, so we can continue to play music for your enjoyment.
For as long as we can. AI
Sure.
over too.
That is true with the evolution of
Mm-hmm.
AI music. I've seen some good things used
Yeah.
for it, like what's it called? That dude Boy What, who does the plankton uh AI. He takes his voice and he sings it and does all of it, and then he changes his voice into Plankton's voice using AI.
I've seen some stuff like that, yeah.
Like that can be
Mm-hmm.
okay. That can be okay. But full
That could be
on,
fun.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's the full on, AI made everything and there's no creative element from a human input at all, that it becomes a little sad.
Yeah.
But who
I
knows?
feel like we're watching everything become a little bit closer to iRobot daily.
Which is a great movie, but yeah, it's okay. So we got a bunch of fun questions for you. Bunch of questions about your EP that just came out. That was pretty awesome. I enjoyed listening to it.
Thank
Um,
you.
then we got some other fun questions, music related, and all that. But I've always got a funny question to ask at the beginning of every episode, because if we can't get a good laugh, what are we doing here?
Agreed.
So here's the question. What's the weirdest thing you've ever Googled?
Shoot, the weirdest thing I've ever Googled. Actually, let's pull up my search history real quick. My top one today was what to use mason jar lids for. Does that count as weird?
I could see that being weird, but considering this is North Carolina, is it really that weird?
Yeah.
Let me tell you one.
No,
Um,
but I came across some very interesting Pinterest about it today.
oh yeah,
Did you know you can make wind chimes out of them?
I did not, but that's actually pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. I guess they go like tink, 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 tink.
You know what? I think I'm gonna make one now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I just have about 20 mason jar lids sitting around. So.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. Doesn't
Uh,
look hard either.
no, it doesn't sound too difficult. You have to like
Did you
drill
say
it.
your cat was Nuggy?
Yeah, that's Nugget. And then the other one over there that's behind the camera is Remy.
We have a Nuggy.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, we got a Nug. You will not see her, but she's here. She exists. There's actually four of them. There's a Nug, a P, a Bob, and a Nam.
Okay. I dig it. We have an Oreo, which looks exactly how you would expect an Oreo cat to look like. My wife named all the
A Ginger.
Yeah, exactly. My wife's the one that names the cats, not me. I named the
Yeah,
rabbit we have. He's a grand
the
bun.
rabbit.
Yeah, 100 grand. He's named after the candy bar,
Okay.
which is a great candy bar, by the
Seems
way.
like an Easter bunny gets candy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Um,
But I thank you for answering that question. I will say one of my weirdest things I've Googled was mesothelioma and the history of it, which is it's
because
it's
you saw a commercial.
it's because used to have those old commercials. If you or a loved one has been diagnosed with mesothelioma, you may be entitled to financial compensation. And I was like, you know what? I've
Mhm.
never gone down the rabbit hole for mesothelioma, so I went down rabbit hole mesothelioma, asbestos, fiberglass, all that jazz in it. I watched a whole like 3 hour
Hmm.
YouTube video on it, but that's ADHD over.
Um, my fiance watched this video about government cheese and the cave cheese.
Yeah.
And I now had a whole history given to me about the cave cheese and how we're still eating cave cheese to this day.
I dig it. I think I need to hear about the cave cheese. I've heard a little bit about it, but I haven't heard much. So we should have a cave cheese special episode.
Well, first off, Aldi sells it.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, Aldi sells cave cheese. If you Google it, it'll be there. Um, but pretty much, there was a ton of dairy farmers, and the government was encouraging dairy farmers to keep on doing the dairy farmer thing. They got too much milk. They didn't know what to do with all the milk, so they made cheese. Then they had too much cheese. So they put it in a cave because caves are 30 degrees at all times in this one particular cave. So now there's a cave full of government cheese that we are still eating to this day.
That is an interesting, interesting thing. I love it. Cave cheese, cave government cheese. Hold on, gotta be
Mm-hmm.
specific. Okay.
Yep.
Well, our next question. This is always a fun one. It's the fun fact question. You got to give me a fun fact about yourself. You've been preparing your whole life for this throughout elementary and middle and high school. You got to have one. What are you doing, Nugget?
Okay. Fun fact, there is 4 cats, a dog, 2 rats, and 2 birds in this house.
That is a fun fact,
So we have a little zoo.
of course.
Mm-hmm.
We have a little farm. We got chickens and goats in the backyard. It's a big backyard though. I will
I've
prep.
always wanted goats. What is it like living with goats?
They are annoying. Well, one's not, one is. So we have Minnie and Marty. Marty because he looks like race, zebra. Minnie because I don't remember why. But Minnie is loud and
You said your
obnoxious.
goat looks like a zebra?
Yeah, he looks like a zebra. Marty the zebra from what's that? Racing Stripes? Madagascar? One of those.
Well, I know Racing Stripes. You're talking about Racing Stripes, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
But
Oh, Marty's Madagascar.
oh, one of them. Uh But yeah, he's got the zebra stripes and stuff, kind of looking like a zebra, despite being a goat. So he's
Cute.
Marty. And the other one's
I
Minnie.
watched a video of a goat today. And
Okay.
aw. Yeah. I watched a video of a goat today. It was screaming because it was raining outside and would not stop screaming until the woman who owned the goat let the goat on the porch because they didn't want to get rained on.
Gotcha. They have their own
And that's
little.
the type of spoiled goats
Oh
that
yeah.
we all need.
both of our goats have their own little huts and their own little wide pens. One of them's got a slide that he just loves to jump on top and go.
Oh, cool. Does he use it?
Yeah, he uses it. He loves that thing.
Nice.
And then the other one, Minnie, she has a trampoline, one of those mini trampolines. She does not use it. Uh,
Oh, okay.
she's a butt face. I mean, you try to get her, she's just so anal about everything and loud. And Marty's not that way, just her.
Okay.
Such is life with goats, I guess.
Yeah.
And
Just like any other animal.
yeah. And my family's currently trying to get a donkey.
Oh, good luck.
Yeah, they said that it's a mean donkey, and I'm like, why are we don't want a mean donkey. We don't what? Okay. Guess we're gonna have a mean donkey. Hey, but at least it's not a mean turkey.
Okay. Is
Yeah.
there a backstory there?
Um if it's I've seen just a lot of videos where the turkeys are like ruthless. And if they're anything like our rooster Rizzo, he's mean. You'll be across the yard and he'll come and seek you out and chase you.
Hmm. I've heard roosters can do that.
Oh yeah. I picked him up and he pecked me on the head.
Life
I was like,
is never the same.
oh yeah, he is he's a mean one. Should have named him Grinch. Okay. So let's move on to some music questions because this is what the people want. I mean, although let's be honest, people like animals, so it falls into the same category of things people like.
Hmm. I mean, I am a dog trainer, so that's my whole life outside of music is animals.
That's awesome. I
Yeah.
definitely I saw you post the other day about a particular dog. I was like, that's a cute dog. I think it was a black dog.
Black dog. I don't know, but I believe it. There's a lot of cute dogs out there,
Oh yeah.
and I do be sharing them.
Okay, so our first music question of the day. How did you get into music? Well, tell me the origin story of you and music. How you got into it, how you fell in love with it, and how you started playing and making music.
Okay. So I always have. There was never a day where I didn't. Um, like even as a toddler, I would play with the music toys more than anything else. Was singing my own songs in kindergarten type of deal. Not
Okay.
that anything was very good at that age. It's just always was there.
Come on,
Um,
they're not hits.
you weren't my biggest hits at 6 years old, no. But when I was in the second grade, my grandma got me a violin, and that was like my first real instrument.
Okay.
And I was good at it. I played it all the way through middle school, but I really just wanted to be a drummer.
Okay.
And so they said, if you stick with the violin, we will get you something. So they got me a guitar. And that's when I started playing guitar and I fell in love with that and just continued on um, up till this point. Yeah.
Okay.
Super profound. That's the story.
I dig it. I
Hmm.
always love the always been playing music. Music's always been my thing stories because you can tell it's a real passion when somebody's just like, yeah, I was playing music when I was like two on the little keyboard thingies that you can the cat keyboards or what whatever they
Yeah.
got. Okay. Okay. I dig
Hmm.
it. So, besides guitar, do you and violin, do you play anything else?
If it has strings, I can play it, but I don't. I just kind of stick to the guitar. I have a violin that the strings are like rusted.
Oof.
Like somebody left this violin at my house one day, and I was like, maybe I'll play it again someday, and I just never picked it back up.
Okay. Okay. Well,
Mhm.
violin strings are $2 on Amazon, I think. So if you want to get on it,
So that should be an easy fix.
yeah.
One day I will say, hey, it's time and do it.
Oh yeah. I should know how
That's
much
the type
they
of person
cost.
I am. I'll sit there for a while and then I'll be like, okay, today's the day. Let's go do it.
Yeah. I know how much they cost because it hit me in the eyeball when I was trying to. My aunt has a violin, and I was like, I want to learn how to play the violin for a college thing I was doing. And
Mhm.
I tried to tune it, and it hit me in the eyeball. And I was like, okay, I'm done.
Dang. Okay.
I've since learned how to play it, but I have not fixed that violin yet.
Yeah.
Got the new strings, but it's going to continue to sit in the corner where it belongs.
Until today's the day. I'm going to do it.
Exactly. Okay.
Yep.
Well,
Uh,
we got to ask, what guitars do you have? We got to hear about your baby guitar and what else you got. I love gear, so you just tell me what guitar you got.
um,
Tell me the pedals, everything.
so the one that I like to use for Jess Tells Stories is my Gretsch. What is it, like the Synchromatic one something? It's a jazz guitar
Yeah.
technically. Um, but that's like my Jess Tells Stories baby. Like I love that guitar. However, I write everything on the Washburn that I have. So I've had that Washburn over 13 years now. Um, I walked into Guitar Center one day and I was not going to buy a guitar. And
That's how it
it was
always.
like a Labor Day sale and we really haggled that price down. So I ended up walking out with a 300 guitar, only paying $300 for this Washburn guitar.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. It was a proud day for me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Before that, though, I had this guitar called a Lyle, and it
okay.
was like a Japanese made guitar that Gibson had bought out in the 60s.
Yeah.
I don't remember how I came across this guitar. I had it for a really long time. Um, but once I got that Washburn, the Lyle just kind of sat there. And y'all are going to hate me for this, but I actually sawed the front of it up and turned it into a shelf. And that shelf is sitting in my guitar room. So it's just like a guitar shelf sitting on the wall.
You know, I would be like, oh no, poor guitar. But
Mm-hmm.
that's a pretty cool use of the guitar, not gonna lie.
Yeah, so it's still around. It's just I was never gonna play it again, and it's not something you could sell. That was just a special thing for me.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
now it's gonna be special forever as a shell.
Mm-hmm. And then there's my wow, I'm drawing blanks on names. My Ibanez
Okay.
Art Worm. It's the I got that one in high school. It was the first guitar that I actually picked out for myself, where I was just like, I love this thing and I love the sound of it, and I still use it every once in a while. But I got my dream guitar recently, so it's been kind of shelved.
Oh yeah.
But I'll still bring it out. Like when Skewer Rat travels, like sometimes I'll bring out the old Ibanez again, just so it's not getting knocked around too much. But the vintage Ibanez FMD Art Core, I went into Sam Mash when I was in like a senior in high school, and this guitar was way too pricey for me at the time. But I saved up and I was gonna go get it. Like that guitar sat on their wall for almost a year straight. And the day I went to buy it, they said, "Oh, somebody stole that guitar last month."
Oh,
Nobody got it. They stole the guitar right off the wall and walked out with it. And I waited years to find this guitar because you can't. It's not like you can just like go on Reverb and order it. It doesn't. it's rare, like it doesn't exist. But that was my dream guitar, and I waited for that for years. I finally got it last year. So I've not put that guitar down since.
That's awesome. It's always
hmm
great to find that one guitar that you're like, this is my guitar.
Yeah, I love the sound. I love the feel of it. Ibanez is probably my favorite, like my favorite brand of guitar, but because I love the sound, I love the versatility of it. Because it's not like I'm out here shredding, like I'm playing punk or I'm playing a little jazzier, and it's just,
I
you know.
get that. Yeah, of course.
hmm
Uh, I'm not looking to shred or anything either. I do a little more complicated than the punk rock, but I totally get what you're saying. It's a guitar's all about feel. If you don't feel good playing the guitar, is it really worth even purchasing or having around?
Yeah. I bought another guitar recently because I did want to get myself like a shredder.
Okay,
I
okay,
did, but I ended up walking out with a Stratocaster instead,
okay,
and I
okay,
wrote 3 songs with it, and it's been sitting in that room for a year now.
okay.
And that was its life.
Well, it inspired 3 songs, and that's all you can ask for. If it inspired anything, it did its job.
I will incorporate it somehow, some way into something.
Oh yeah. I always try to do that with all my guitars too.
No
Even
baby left behind.
even though that one right there is my workhorse, the seven
Yeah.
string. 'Cause you always gotta have. I'm of the believer that more strings is good is gooder. Yeah.
Oh, speaking of gooder, um, later, try putting a clothespin
Okay.
on just the bottom strings.
Okay.
You would strum and just see what kind of noise that makes on there.
I will do that. I'll stitch
It,
it to the
if
end
I
of
can find the
the.
video, I'll send it to you later.
Okay.
But go ahead and try that. Cool experiment.
I will, and I'll stitch it to the end of this
You'll
video.
get some noise that'll
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. So our next musical question. I know you just put out an EP,
hmm
but I always gotta ask, new music?
New music. Actually, I have 2 more EPs that
Okay.
I'm ready to record because I just cannot stop writing. When we talk about having like everybody has a little bit of autism, mine's the writing one where I just can't stop writing. So I just
Yeah.
am consistently making new stuff. And if I'm not making new stuff, I'm making new art. Um, I know you see art
Yeah.
kind of behind me, but that's the 2 things that I do when I'm home.
Okay. Okay. So
hmm
tell me a little bit more about your art. How'd you get into the whole art thing?
That was another one of those things that I just started one day as a kid and never stopped.
Okay. Okay.
hmm
I dig it. And I dig the art behind you. It's pretty cool.
Thank you.
Okay.
Actually, I can give you a cat tour.
Yeah.
The one that says "Stay Weird," that's Nugget.
Okay.
Key next to her, the black and white kitty.
Okay.
Over there is Nam, the one that's on the helmet with the flames.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
then over there is Bob and his
Okay.
mices. He likes his mices.
That was a great cat tour and a great art tour. Unfortunately, if you're listening to the audio version,
You're
sucks.
not going to get it, but you can find it uh, artwork by JK on Instagram or artwork by Jessie Krom on Facebook. So you could see it
Boom.
potentially.
Yeah, you can see it, just not while we're talking.
Yeah.
Just imagine it and then go and see it over there, and then let us know how much it matched up.
Leave a comment. I want to see this social experiment play out.
Oh
I'm a
yeah.
big fan of social experiments.
Oh, I am too. I mean, one of my favorite social experiments is the what was it called? The Stanford prison experiment.
What was it?
So they took a bunch of college students and they split them up into guards and prisoners and turned this whole section of the school into a prison. And it was supposed to last 2 weeks, lasted 3 days before they had to shut it down because things got out of hand very quickly. Guards began to abuse their power. Prisoners started to get rowdy. It was
Dang.
insane. There's a movie, I think it is called The Stanford Prison Experiment. I highly recommend watching it. And then I don't remember what the book's called, but the professor who conducted the experiment wrote the book about it. Great book, even better audio book, so you don't have to read it. Um,
I don't know. I like to read. A lot of my songs are based off books I've read,
okay.
um, or Jess Tells Stories. It's either based off a book or based off of some traumatic event, but that's music.
Yeah, of course.
Um, but this one's Story by Firelight. The first one's about the Lord of the Rings. I read that book when I was in high school and wrote the song immediately after. So I've been holding on to that song for a very long time.
Okay.
Neverland, Peter Pan,
Yeah.
obviously.
I, that's what I was going to ask you. I was like, is that a Peter Pan song?
Yeah, it's a Peter Pan song. um, and then Fly By Night, I didn't write that one because of Mary and the Witch's Flower. I actually wrote the song, watched the movie, and said, hey, I like that name for this song.
I like it.
And then in Stories by Firelight, in the background, I'm reading The Little Prince. So those are like some of my like biggest favorites.
That was what that was. I was like, that seems so familiar to me. I couldn't figure out what it was. I was like, that's gonna bother me to no end. And that was actually one of my questions. So thank you for answering that.
Yeah. So when the Little Prince lived on his asteroid, he went into a depressive episode because his rose was a bitch, and he kept rotating his chair to watch the sunsets. And so in the part I was reading, it was the pilot asking the Little Prince about the sunsets and his asteroid and basically if he was okay.
Yeah. Okay. I dig it. And so you said you use your Gretsch for all of those, right?
Well, so when I play them live, yes.
Okay.
When we recorded it, we tried the Gretsch, we tried a different guitar, we tried a third guitar. We did great. We really knew what we were doing.
Oh yeah. Isn't that how recording should go?
Yeah. Um actually, so I think you guys are mutual friends. I don't know how you guys know each other though, but Jay,
Yeah.
he recorded all of it for me.
Okay. Okay.
Mhm.
Nice. It sounds
Yeah.
good. I was
Yeah,
very
he did a really good job with all of like the mixing and everything. And it was so I wrote Stories by Firelight the night before I was supposed to go record the rest of the songs. Because I
okay.
had a fourth song ready and I was like, I don't like it anymore. I gotta write a new song right now. And that's what I came up with. And we were there and we were recording it. I said it'd be really cool if I read something behind this. And so I sat there on Google trying to find that one little passage from the book for about 30
Yeah.
minutes, and then we did it.
That's great. Those are always the best songs, I think, when it's just like, no, this I need something different. This is it.
Mm-hmm.
Right before you go to record everything. It I mean, I don't know how many songs by different bands that I've heard that are like, yeah, this was the last song that we recorded. We decided we didn't like the other song. I'm like, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, and the other song is not a bad song. I just want to use it for something else. The
Okay.
next EP. Yeah.
So we're gonna hear this mystery song on the next EP. Okay,
Hmm.
I dig it. Yeah, the whole EP to me gave me like it was definitely like Stories by Firelight. High Nugget. Um, I definitely felt like I was sitting by a fire, listening to it.
That's great. That's awesome to hear.
And then I ran over a bump in the road and I went, "Oh crap, back to reality."
Yeah, we still exist on this plane.
Oh yeah. Now I like to do my music homework, I call it. I go and I listen to every possible song that my guest has put out. So I listened to all of Skewer Rat, listened to this EP a couple times. So
Okay.
what was the writing process like for this song, this EP versus what you would typically do for Skewer Rat?
Um, so for Skewer Rat, it's Skewer Rat's a lot different for me.
Okay.
Because Skewer Rat, like, there's some songs that are about just most of these songs are just about everyday life.
Yeah, of course.
Um, so like Into the Pit, I was kind of joking about it. So where I work, I walk probably like 10 minutes to go to Starbucks and back every day. That's just kind of like my solace is I can go get my caffeine and come back to work.
Oh yeah.
The sidewalk is very uneven. And I tripped over it one day and there was like a pit right next to it. And that's where Into the Pit came from. So there's like some of it's kind of deep, some of it's really not.
That's fair. Hey, and that's one of my favorite songs.
And then Brian came up to me one day and he said, "Can you write a song about a grumpy old man who yells at people to get off his lawn?" I'm like, "Yeah, can I have a little bit more context?" He's like, "This man used to be a rock star." I said, "Yeah, I can do that." And that's how we got to get off my lawn.
I like it. I like it. Okay. And I have to ask, what's your Starbucks order?
Recently, it's been that tropical ice citrus.
Okay.
Um, it's just carbonated water with B vitamins and green tea, but it has as much caffeine as a large latte.
That's nuts.
So it hydrates, it gives me my vitamins, and it's only $6.
There you go. Okay. Besides that, what's your other order?
I've also been a fan of the vanilla cold brews and just the honey latte.
Okay. Okay.
Mhm.
I'm a big fan of vanilla cold brew too, so good choice.
Anywhere else though, straight iced black coffee.
Yeah, I dig it. So you got a that tropical refresher thing on this end, and then you have iced black coffee on the other end. I like
Yeah.
the variety.
You can't trust all these sugary drinks.
No. Okay. So this is one of my favorite questions. What is your favorite song you've written? What's your least favorite song you've written?
Oh, for which side? Let's do Jess Tells Stories.
Yeah.
Oh. um, for Jess Tells Stories, my favorite song is still going to be the Traveler's song,
Okay.
just because it's been with me for so long.
Yeah.
Um, because it kind of talks about like Tom Bombadil's life, and then it talks about kind of my life a little bit, and then it's kind of you know is one of my favorite things to read. So liked that one. For Skewer Rat, they're kind of all my favorite.
Okay.
Not gonna lie, they're kind of all my favorite. But recently, my least favorite has been The Most Wonderful Time.
Okay.
Not because it's not fun to play. It's a lot of fun to play. It's a lot of fun to scream along to. But
Yeah.
when I wrote it, my family was really pissing me off, and we are healed now. So
That makes sense. Sometimes the healing makes the songs not as
yeah,
entertaining as they were. You don't feel it as much as you used to.
yeah. And I mean, before we even played the song, I asked them. I said, "Hey, this is what I wrote. I know we're not there anymore, but I still feel like I want to sing it. And they're like, okay. It's like we even talked about it beforehand, so they knew it was coming.
Yeah, okay. Okay. Well, what's your least favorite song to play live? How about that?
Um, I don't have one. I have so much fun.
Okay, okay.
Like I just have so much fun playing them all.
Well, which one's the most difficult then?
I will say Queen's Wit,
Okay.
just because I'm doing a lot of arpeggios on that one.
Yeah.
And most days it's a hit, but some days you kind of mess it up a little bit. And I'm just like, whoopsies. But also because I have those extended screams in it, and some days they're really on, and some days they're kind of off.
I feel that.
That one has to be kind of spot on the whole way through.
Oh yeah. Okay. I'll take it. I'll take it. So you hate that song is what you're saying. No, I'm just kidding. Okay. So, who has influenced you the most from a music standpoint? You can do it for give me one for both, or give me two for both, however many you want to do.
Okay.
Nugget,
Um,
shut up. He's over there yelling.
for That's usually my birds. I can't hear the cat though. It's usually my birds that are screaming in the background. They're asleep right now though.
Okay.
Um,
You can keep going then.
for vocally, I've always loved to sing along to the Pretty Reckless,
Okay.
to AFI, and then obviously like when My Chemical Romance was big, but I still listen to Three Cheers for Sweet Revenge and scream along to that too.
Of course.
Um, So, but like when you like look at these three bands, well, maybe not My Chemical Romance, but like AFI and The Pretty Reckless, each album is a different genre.
Yes.
Um, Along the same lines, like I mean, AFI started as skate punk, and I'm always screaming along to A Perfect Fit. But then you get down to, December Underground, super emo. Love the dramatic vocals in that.
Oh yeah.
So, and then I love to sing along to Amy Winehouse and Billie Eilish, and so you get those influences.
You there. Oh, you just wanted attention. You want to say hi? He's decided to come say hi. He went, what? You done? Do you want to ask a question? Okay.
Meow, 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 meow.
Have a good day, Nuggy. He said, okay, bye. Oh, no, he's back. Okay. So, in terms of guitar playing, who has influenced you?
Um, Although it doesn't sound like it in any of my songs,
Okay.
I used to try real hard to be Buckethead.
That's a great
And
choice.
I learned a lot trying to play his music. I learned a lot rhythmically. I learned a lot just like putting lead notes together. And although, no, you would not hear any of that in my music, it did shape a lot of how I play guitar.
Okay.
Mhm.
Soothsayer is one of my top favorite instrumental songs.
Yeah, the legend. I've seen him probably 5 times.
I had an opportunity to see him once and I missed it and haven't been able to see him yet.
He goes to the neighborhood theater like once every 10 years.
Okay.
So you're around Charlotte?
Yeah, about an hour.
Yeah, so he'll be back.
Oh yeah, eventually. I meant to see him when I lived up in Washington State. I lived
Oh,
there
that
for
would
a
be
year. And I was a little broke for that. There goes
There
my
is a will, there is a way.
Oh yeah. Well, we got to move on to my next question. What is one of your guilty pleasures to listen to?
What would you consider cringe?
Ah, I know this is gonna sound wrong, but 303 is definitely cringe, although I do listen to them on occasion.
Okay, so I don't listen to 303. I mean, I guess like something different. Like I listen to Loretta Lynn
Okay,
and
that is different. Yeah.
Johnny Cash as well, like
You
that
know,
style.
I think I could hear a bit of Johnny Cash in your EP.
Oh, I do a Johnny Cash cover when I play. It's like a Led Zeppelin Johnny Cash mashup.
I like it. I like it.
Yeah. So y'all just have to come see me sometime and you can hear it.
I'll let you plug your shows toward the end, your upcoming shows, because I know you got a few of them.
Jess Tells Stories has one show booked this year, so if you want to see me, book me.
Oh, there you go. Get on it, people.
That's July 20th. Tommy's Pub.
Oh, I like
Thank you,
that place. They have decent food there.
Do they?
I think so. Last time I went, they did.
Next door, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Whoever got me the food did. Wherever they got it from, it was decent. Okay. Well, there goes my cat wants to be the star of this show, apparently.
Don't they all?
Oh, yeah. I mean, they're camera hogs for sure. Okay. Well, speaking of shows, what other shows you got? I know Skewer Rat's playing a couple.
Skewer Rat has a ton. I recently posted a picture with our most recent shows coming up. But Friday, we will be in South Carolina at the Market at the Mill.
Okay.
Saturday, yeah, I don't know what that is. I'm hoping it's like an antique mall type thing because I really do love going to antique malls, and it sounds kind of like the Gibson Mill vibe.
Yeah, it
How
does.
they have their stage outside. And then Saturday, we will be in Winston Salem at the Den.
Okay.
We played the Den once, and a total of 0 people showed up. So all 3 bands played for each other and went home.
You know
So
what?
this is their shot. This is
Yeah.
their shot.
We'll see we'll see what happens with that one.
Yep.
From what
And
I hear,
then yeah,
with a lot of people anyways, but
you said what?
I said from what I hear, I don't think they get a lot of people anyways.
Well,
I know you're playing FemFest.
we are playing FemFest. I'm very excited to play FemFest.
It,
Yeah.
it looks like it'll be a good time. Any other major shows you're playing?
Yeah. I'll just keep going down the list.
Keep going down the list until you run out. We get
May 2nd, we're playing at the 27 Club, and I absolutely loved playing there the last time we were there. There was
Where's
a
that
lot of like good reviews about it before we went there
Okay.
in Asheville. And once we
Okay.
got there, like everything that they said was true. Like I loved it there. Um, and then May 3rd, we were supposed to have a New Year's punk showcase in January, and it got pushed out. So
Okay.
May 3rd, we're having our New Year's show punk case. And
Okay.
then May 17th, FemFest. And then we'll have Punk Rock Summer is coming again. So
Yep.
that's exciting. And then we're also going to like Trolley Pub and Frankenhouse and other little shows in between.
Oh yeah.
And then I know we have some book that's not even on the flyer. I don't have the information yet though. But Skewer Rat's doing great.
Yeah. I always see you guys as kind of a because you got live music out on your Spotify, then you have the one single. I'm like, you know what that reminds me of? Twisted Sister. They had a lot of live stuff more than they had like actual singles.
So we played at a place called Capone's in Johnson City.
Yep.
And that's where we got Live from Capone's as the album name because Paul, their sound guy, said, "Do you have a flash drive?" And we're like, "No, why would we have a flash drive?" And he goes, because I will plug it into the soundboard and record your entire show because everything is mic'd. And I said, okay, we'll go get a flash drive.
Oh, yeah.
And there we got Live from Capone's.
Well, it's definitely a fun one. I enjoyed listening to it.
Yeah. Thank you.
And you hear at the very end, before the last two bonus tracks, you hear, we're Skewer Rat and we have merch, and then it slowly trails off. And I'm like, I want to hear the rest of the spiel.
That was it.
That's a live exclusive. If you want to hear the spiel, you got to go to the live show.
We no longer have flasks at the live show. Sorry.
Dang, see? You're going to have to get your flasks elsewhere.
We're just have to record a whole new live album.
There you go.
Where I don't say that.
Live Skewer Rat album 2025.
Hopefully real album Skewer Rat 2026.
Oh. Well, I can't wait to hear that, and then you can come back on the podcast. We'll talk about that too.
I mean, I already have our second album written.
Okay.
But we're not through the first one yet.
Hey, it's like you said, just writing, and writing.
Mm-hmm.
I dig it though, writing is important. And, not all of it is good. I know I can definitely say that about myself. Not all of it's good. But,
Yeah, sometimes you'll write down some lyrics and you're like, I'll come back to that later and fix everything about it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't know how many times I've
It's always just better to get it out. It's like word vomit. Just get it out.
Yeah. I was listening to the Garza podcast, and he had Rob Flynn from Machine Head on there, and he said, yeah, every morning at 3 a.m. I get up, and he said, and I just go and I write for 30 minutes straight. He's like, even if it's complete garbage.
And then I hope he goes back to bed.
No, he sleeps from 11 to 3, and that's it. He said it was the meth.
Yeah. Okay.
He's sober now. I would like to clarify that just for anybody listening. He is sober now. He's not doing meth. But I have a feeling that's why he doesn't sleep very much.
I can see that.
So, this is my favorite section. I don't get to do this every time. I call it the Dream Festival. So, you're playing at this festival. You got to tell me where it's going to be. You got to tell me. I'll keep it a surprise. Start by telling me where you want your dream festival to be. And the only stipulation is you're playing.
I'm flying.
You're playing.
So what? Yeah, playing.
Yeah.
Anywhere in the world.
Yeah, anywhere. Someone has given you unlimited funds to make this.
So there's actually a lot of smaller venues I'm more interested in playing than a huge festival like that. Like there's this one venue that Nirvana played at, Soundgarden played at, and like a lot of like the grungier,
you
know. It's called the Meat Locker in Jersey.
Yeah.
And up top there's a butcher shop. Down below is a venue. And I want to play one show there. I don't want to play multiple shows there. I just want to play one.
Okay.
I heard it smells, so I want to do one. Say I did it.
That's what I've heard too.
Yeah.
Okay.
But actually, like a punk show in LA, everybody dreams about the punk show in LA.
Of course.
Mm-hmm. And I want to do a punk show in New York City. Anywhere but here, right?
Yeah, for sure.
No, honestly, my favorite thing about playing music is that my family and friends get to show up. So Charlotte would be where I held my big festival. So
okay.
do it for the homies.
Okay, cool. So the next question is, what's the food gonna be? What's the catering? You get to decide what the food is going to be for this event.
So one vendor just popped into my head
Okay, let me hear it.
when me and my fiance went to Halloween. Halloween's a festival in the swamp. They had described the best festival in the world in the worst way possible. So we went
Okay.
to this festival in the swamp, and there was this Thai food place there, and they were just a local Thai food vendor, and it was the best curry I've ever had. Like, I've gone to a lot of Thai places, and that was the best curry.
Okay.
All
So
of the alcohol and pot had nothing to do with it. That was the best curry.
yeah, for sure. Okay. So
They would.
we got Thai and curry from this local curry shop at the Halloween place. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
The festival. I like it. I like it. You know, we'll make sure we have plenty of bathrooms for this festival. Okay, so our next question is accommodation. So you can most people say, I want to go back to my house. But you can camp out, you can pick 5-star hotel, whatever you want. You should, now this is where you'll be staying for the festival.
Like me personally,
Yeah, this is where you'll stay where all the bands and artists will be.
like if we're doing a show in Charlotte, me personally, I'm staying at my house. The bands can stay wherever they want, but they are not staying here.
Okay, okay. You- you- So all the bands at Jesse's house. Got it. No, I'm just kidding.
My dog will eat you. Do not show up.
Okay, okay. So we gotta have a couple headliners. And remember, this can be anybody, any genre, any they can be dead or alive. If they're dead, you gotta explain how they came back to life. That's the only stipulation.
Well, Tupac never really died, right?
Yeah, of course. He's living in Boca with Elvis.
Sick. All right. Well, I've been compared a lot to the Distillers, so that would be cool to have them there.
Okay, okay.
I've been listening to a lot of Die Spitz recently, and just for me personally, getting to hear them sing Hair Dog would be really cool. You know, ruff, ruff. That's what they do.
Oh yeah.
They bark like a dog.
Hey, I've heard stranger things from bands,
Mm-hmm.
namely Kubla Khan, but he Matt Honeycutt, he's from Florida, so he says some out of pocket things.
Yeah.
Some Floridians. No. Okay.
Speaking of Florida, we'll get a day to remember there.
Okay.
We'll get one pop punk band there, maybe
Okay.
two. We'll get Beartooth.
Is Beartooth pop punk?
Yeah,
Are you sure? I thought they
I'm
were
sure.
thought they were screamo.
I don't think any band is screamo.
Fair enough, fair enough. That's such an interesting genre genre.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, "Oh, that screamo band." I'm like, "No, they're not. They're post-hardcore or no, they're regular rock." Who knows? Genres are stupid.
Well, to make it clear, according to their last previous album, they are pop punk.
Okay, I'll give that to you. I'll give it to you.
Yeah.
Great last record, by the way.
Yeah, that's what got me into them. I didn't know who they were before that record.
Really?
Yeah, I heard Sunshine. I listened to Sunshine for 6 months straight. And then I was like, I should listen to the rest of the album. And so I did. And then I heard The Surface and I listened to The Surface for another 6 months straight. And then I learned the rest of the songs.
Okay. Uh, I think I listened to what was that song? Riptide. I think that became my one of my top 5 songs listened to the year it came out. The Ripped. My wife hates that song, but I was like, I like this song. And she's like, no. She's like, Caleb Shomo needs to go back to Attack Attack.
Whoops.
Like, okay, okay. Controversial opinion there. Okay. And then give me a couple other bands that you want to sprinkle throughout the day.
Oh man, who
Rapid
would you want to
fire.
see?
Man, I don't know. Given what you've given me, I think we throw Silverstein in there because I feel like they would fit with the whole Beartooth data
Oh, you know
remember.
what? I have never regret. I've always regretted the day that I missed Census Fail at Warped Tour.
Ah, you missed senses.
They were at Warped Tour, and I was at Warped Tour, and they were there, and I missed them, and I was there, and I missed them.
That's sad. That's
It was sad.
that's like a villain origin story right there.
And they've never come around since.
Didn't they break up?
Maybe that's why.
That would explain a lot. I know Yumi at six just broke up. That hurt. I was so sad to see them go. That's who I'd have. I'd have a band that just broke up, get back together. And then did you hear about Black Sabbath getting back together for a final performance? So weird.
It's okay, boomer.
Exactly. Exactly. Okay.
Hmm.
Well, we're just about to the end of the podcast. I got to give you the floor for plugs, shout outs. Where can they find you at? Where can they find all your music at? Tell them where they can find your art again, and anything else you want to say.
Okay. Um,
And your
Jess
favorite
Tells
type of
Stories.
cheese.
My favorite type of cheese.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I like queso and Gouda and American and provolone, and so does my dog. We like all the cheeses.
Okay.
Actually, I had a very spicy Caribbean cheese yesterday that was just top tier.
That sounds awesome.
Um, all the music is on Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, wherever you listen to music, it's there because we use DistroKid, so it just puts it out there. So anywhere you want to listen to it, it's there.
DistroKid for the sponsorship.
Yeah. DistroKid can pay me whenever they want. It's fine.
Yeah.
Artwork by JK, artwork by Jess Krom, Instagram, Facebook, Jess Tells Stories, Skewer Rat, Instagram, Facebook. Oh, and we have a skewerrat.com that I have to update with all of our shows, but I keep it updated.
Which is something very few people do. So congratulations on that. I have to applaud you for that.
Bandzoogle can also pay us whenever they want.
Remember to use the DistroKid code distrokid.com VIP or /VIP/Garza for not my money. I don't get any of that. Okay. Any shout outs you'd want to give to anybody?
Oh, yes. Hi, Rat Fam.
There we go. Okay. Okay. Hello to the Rat Fam,
Hello to the Rat Fam.
which is also a good song.
I guess it is.
Okay, cool.
That song was written for the Rat Fam. It's called the Rat Fam.
Rat Fam for the Rat Fam. I dig it. Okay.
This is a song for my Rat Fam.
Now we have one last question for you before we get off of here. What song off of your EP would you like to have as the outro song for the podcast?
Ooh, you should do Stories by Firelight.
Sounds great. Great way to end the EP and great way to end the podcast.
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast, Jesse. I appreciate it. It was
You're
fun.
welcome. Thanks for having me. Yeah.
And the rain let up finally, so it wasn't laggy the whole time. It was only laggy for the first 5 minutes.
Luckily, when it was frozen, your cat was in view. So
Yeah, and that's really the important part, you know. Who cares about my face? As long as you see the cat's face, it doesn't matter.
there you go.
He's one of my photo covers for one of the covers I did. Oh, it was for Is It Really You by Loathe.
Okay.
But yeah, him staring at the TV is the cover.
Oh, cute.
I'll put the picture right here in the podcast for everybody to look at. If I remember. Roast me down in the comments below if I forgot. Well, again, thank you so much, Jessie. I appreciate you coming on.
All right. Good talking to you.
Good talking to you. The Mullins Over Music Podcast, episode 20. Host, producer, and editor, Austin Mullins. Special thanks to guest Jessie Krom of Jess Tells Stories and Skewer Rat. Song title for the outro is Stories by Firelight by artist Jess Tells Stories. Check out Jess Tells Stories and Skewer Rat on all social media platforms. And check out the new EP, Stories by Firelight, on all streaming platforms. Special thanks to viewers like you. Thank you. And thanks again so much. And until next time, bye-bye.
I hear the past as well as the future. Both are near as they are far. There's nothing to say about the fire. Don't tell the same stories again.
Oh, the little prince, if I bet I came to understand the secrets of your sad little life. For a long time you had found your only entertainment in the quiet pleasure of looking at the sunset. I learned that new detail on the morning of the fourth day when you said to me, I am very fond of sunsets. Come, let us go look at the sunset now. But we must wait, I said. Wait for what? For the sunset, we must wait until it's time. At first you seemed to be very much surprised, and then you laughed to yourself and said to me, I am always thinking that I am at home. And one day you said to me, I saw the sunset 44 times, and a little later you added, you know, when one loves the sunset and one is so sad. Were you sad then? I asked, on the day of the 44 sunsets. The little prince made no reply.
A story of firelight. It's nothing new. A story about firelight. I like to share them with